Hey, this is Pat Ray from Pat's. This is parenting. Today's topic is, the importance of training from day one. So I need you to print your first and last name. I need you to put your date on your progress note. And I want you to put what agency has sent you and who is paying for your service. Okay. Today I want to talk about discipline, and actually we're going to talk about it as training that corrects, molds, or perfects the mental faculties or moral character. Teaching, training. Okay. Now, we want to talk about how do you do it? How do you train from day one? Well, it talks about starting out with, in the very beginning, when babies are 0 to 3 months, that one of the most important things is to respond to them when they're hungry, when they're bored, when they're tired, or when they're cold or wet. So paying attention to them and responding. Gradually encourage them through self-soothing things that they can do for themselves between 3 and 6 months. So giving them their blanket. Some people use pacifiers. Whatever it might be that they could have cuddled with a teddy bear, things that they can do for themselves to soothe themselves. Yes. Excuse me, I had to go away a minute. Okay, so one of the other important things from the time that they are small, we're talking like 8 to 12 months, teaching them that certain things are off limits by using a constant word, could be stop, whatever, but choosing a word and using that over and over again, then removing them from whatever it is that you don't want them to touch or where you don't want them to be, and taking them to their toys and giving them something else to do. Now, you may have to do that many, many times because repetition is what teaches, okay? Don't have to get upset or scream or holler at a small child. If he or she throws food on the floor, we're talking again around 9 to 12 months. You've got them in the high chair. They throw that food on the floor. Then you just say, all done, and take them down. Let them know that they can eat later. Okay. So regardless of the age, the goal is to develop a positive and healthy relationship with your child. So don't have to scream and holler. One of the other important things is that as the child gets a little older, we want to have good expectations or great expectations. Now, that doesn't mean setting the limits, the standards so high that they can't possibly reach it. That's not at all what I'm saying. But on the other hand, if we set our standards so low that they will never have to reach for them at all, that's the other part of the problem. If we expect good behavior, then the child will be more likely to want to please us, and letting them know that that is our expectation. Making sure that the child is rested, gets the regular snacks throughout the day. This makes it easier because they are not grouchy or irritable from being too tired. expect that there's going to be times when children are going to be fussy, angry, irritable, difficult because of all sorts of reasons. They're tired, they don't feel good, they are being expected to do things that are difficult for them sometimes. So the other thing about raising small kids or any kids is plan to do the same thing over and over again. When you catch yourself saying, how many times do I have to tell you this? Stop right there, because this is teaching, this is training, and you do have to do it over and over again. Repetition teaches and trains, okay? The next important part of parenting is notice what is going right. So trying to say yes more often than you say no, if at all possible. Some people just say no automatically. It just comes out of their mind, their mouth. There's no reason, no foundation for it. It's just no. Think through that. Try to say yes as much as you can. Notice what's going right with them and let them know that. Avoid escalation if at all possible. Arguing with a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, there's no point in that. So do your best to stop the argument, walk away from it, put the child someplace safe, cool out a little bit. The other thing is, with kids of all ages, a consistent routine is the best thing you can do for them. They should have a reasonable time to get up, a reasonable time to go to bed. Meals should be at generally the same times of day. I'm sorry for the interruptions. I'm at the desk this morning or this afternoon. The other thing is this, when we're talking about as children grow, if I am extremely lax and permissive with the small child, with the cutie pie, with the one who does all the cute things when they're little, they're a year old, they're 2 years old, when they get to be 3 and 4 and 5, and they come on up, the behavior gets worse. Now, if I set boundaries, if I put in place schedule, not tight schedule, but a schedule, if I teach early and consistently when they are small, as they get older, I can allow more responsibility. So if I let them do anything they want while they are a little child, and then at 14, 12, 13, 14, 15, they get out of control, and I try to tighten up on them, it makes them rebel, and we got a fight going on all the time. So let's turn that around. If I have the funnel that is tighter as they're smaller, and then as they get older, I can let them have more responsibility, and they're prepared for it, and they know how to behave. That's the goal. On the other hand, if the funnel is upside down, I let them do anything they want when they're little. And then when the behavior gets out of control, I'm trying to tighten up on them. That doesn't work. So if you have an out of control 4-year-old, you are going to have a mega out of control 14, 15, 16-year-old. You can't roll them back in. If I have treated my child disrespectfully, if I have been inconsistent all their life, and then as they're getting older, I try to rein all of that in, it's almost too late. I'm not going to say it's too late, but it's much more difficult. So the idea is this. From the very beginning, you let your children know what you like and what you don't like. You increase the behavior you want by acknowledging it, letting them know it, either verbally or a hug, sometimes a little treat, not all that time, but every time you're going to acknowledge it, every time you can. So you are shaping, you are teaching, you are training them as to what you like. And you will remove that attention when they're doing things you don't like. You have consequences. They know what the consequences are because you talk to them ahead of time, not when you're mad. But you train them through, these are the house rules. Before you go into the grocery store, these are the grocery store rules. You let them know before they enter so they know what to expect, and they know the consequence so you don't have to build one in a split second. Kids should know the rules, they should know the consequences, and those consequences should be something that you are willing to follow up on. They should not be so complicated that you are punishing yourself in order to punish the child. So, start early, be consistent, be clear, keep the rules. Okay? At the end of this today, you will need to write a progress note. You're going to need to take a picture of that progress note, and you're going to need to send it to me at pat@changeIsAchoice.org or text it to me, 217-766-9132. I need your name, the date, the type of group, which is parenting, and the topic. Okay? All right. Any questions? Give us a call, 217-954-1128. Have a good day. Bye-bye.